It ain't no good getting low down when you're looking to get thrown in a can. Like driving 90 mile an hour, getting speeding tickets from the man. But I'm just mad about this girl, but she's gone and I'm mad at the world. I just laid a patch of rubber down the road about a quarter-mile long, because I'm all fired up and lonesome.
Good morning, Chris.
Stephen, how are you?
It's a very disruptive time in rugby league this week.
Well, not only is it State of Origin decider,
Ooh.
but near where we're recording, Crown Street is just a basket case.
It's a war zone.
I can't focus on anything.
You know what they do, Chris? Someone's got a contract that says if we don't spend, or if we spend the money or don't spend it, we can do it again next year. Let's just roll over and put the paving down and get more plants, less parking, and more disruption to the locals and the visitors.
Whereas I just want a footpath, a road, and 8 games of club
That's
rugby
it.
league in my week.
That's it. Nothing more to say. But we've been disrupted by this unknown force, Chris. There's been a video circulating in rugby league. It's all the talk. Nobody will even talk to us about it.
Hang on, this is not on the dark web because I wouldn't have seen it.
You're on the dark web, are you? You got a password?
No.
Do you need a password?
Tell me about the video. I'll tell you whether I've seen it or not.
Okay, it's called something to do with the scandal of rugby league. Issac Moses,
Oh, yes.
an agent of KAOS.
Yeah.
Now you and I are old enough to remember KAOS, right?
We do,
And the
indeed.
disruption that KAOS caused with Maxwell Smart and number 99
90s and control.
control. You remember that? That's the fear that we felt.
Yeah. And the chief.
Yeah, yeah. And to open this this documentary, which is on YouTube, Agent of KAOS, there's a football that's sort of shrinking and it's bleeding. It's actually bleeding because that's how exciting it is.
When I hear Agent of KAOS, I normally think of a metal band, but it's great to think that rugby league isn't so controlled by Peter V'landys.
That's right.
That there's a free radical out amongst us.
Because we thought there was an actual sort of Agent of KAOS, and that was Cameron Smith.
Sorry, you mean Cameron?
Smith. But he's involved.
Oh, is he?
He's involved. Now, I went to my my dictionary and it says, KAOS is an international organisation of evil bent on world domination. Their leader is known as Mr. Big. Now, who would Mr. Big be? I'm not really sure who. Well, we don't know, do we?
We don't know who is the supervening force that controls, because it's not just confined to Issac Moses. There are other names in this drama, Stephen. Sam Ayoub comes to mind.
Right.
You know.
I mean, if you said to me who's
Jim
Mr. Big
Bannigan.
in rugby league, I'd say Phil Gould.
Well,
Start off the bat.
Well, I mean, I think the contenders are Nick Politis,
Yes.
PVL,
Yeah.
Phil Gould, and in my mind, it's been Issac Moses. It's the unholy quadrant.
Would you put Ricky Stewart in there?
Nowhere near it.
No, he'd like to be.
He would love to be.
The Mr. Big of Canberra. It says that although this appears to be a descriptive term rather than an actual title, and at least 2 different men have been referred to as such, the real name of the first is unknown. The second was the impresario Badev. Siegfried, of course. I thought Siegfried was
Siegfried?
Yeah.
Do you know who played Siegfried in Get Smart?
Tell me.
Bernie Capel, right?
Wow.
Bernie Capel also very much remembered for his role as Dr. Adam Bricker on The Love Boat.
Oh, you can do that as well.
And I, being a child, having watched Get Smart, I would have had... How old you would have thought Siegfried was? As the character?
64.
Right, well, he clearly wasn't, because that was made in the 60s, and The Love Boat was made in the early 80s.
80s, yeah.
And I'm telling you what, Bernie Capel looked magnificent.
Looks great.
Yeah, unless he's Benjamin Button-like.
Well, you must watch Getaway. You know, it does wonderful things for your skin.
What do you mean I must watch it Getaway?
Just travelling on boats around bloody the Rhine or somewhere, you know. Your skin glows, Chris.
Stephen, I don't watch lifestyle things. It's all about things I'm not doing, like going on cruises, gardening.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
do
yeah.
watch Gardening Australia because of Costa, of course.
Well, I found out Siegfried is the vice president, get this, the vice president of public relations and terror for KAOS. Imagine having that double role.
That is Issac Moses.
So he was the foe most faced by Maxwell Smart. He could be considered one of the main antagonists. Well, we don't know this because there's this whole thing put forward about, and it's factual. I understand.
Well,
Issac Moses sort of expose.
yeah. Well, first of all, it's an interesting challenge. Maybe on our Facebook chat group, blowing up the Lux, or even the Brains Trust, the more internal group. It would be really good to try and draw the parallels between the various members of KAOS and the rugby league agents, because it'd be hard to be able to cast Simon the Likeable.
Yes,
But
I've been called that.
yeah, but generally by people who don't care for you.
Totally.
That they just go that Ferris, bubbly, effervescent. He's interested in what I have to say vibe. It's all. Put
And what
on.
was Simon's special skill?
He was able to persuade people.
He had a glint, didn't he?
He had a glint.
I think he had a gold tooth. Didn't
Yeah. Oh, just a twinkle in the eye.
Twinkle in the eye, was it?
Yeah.
Yes. And he could. Well, apparently, look, there's more information because I can't. Siegfried started out with KAOS as an office boy and a part-time killer. So there you go. That leads us no closer to this documentary, but it's a must-watch in rugby league circles because, as you know, there's one way to fix this problem of what I would say would be commission agents. Real estate agents are similar. They take a cut on generally movement of said object of payment.
What are they called in the music industry? Fixers or something like that?
Yes, payola scandal.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the interesting thing about the documentary, which I watched, as of yesterday, it had 77,000 views, which is more views than I've ever listened to any of our shows combined, I think.
Jesus.
And
In all of our 14 years or whatever?
And it sort of divides the Issac Moses career up into the clubs that he's interacted with.
Yes.
And it's actually not... You remember we had Ian Darling the final quarter about Adam Goods when we used to be on the radio back in the day?
Yes.
And it was all found footage.
Yes.
Without any direct interviews, talking
Just
heads.
to tell the story.
Tell the story. Very similar
Very
technique.
powerful.
With the exception of the fact that they overlaid from the back AI generated images of Issac Moses strolling through dressing rooms
With a
and training
a
sets.
funny neck nearly, didn't he?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. There was just
so
that.
Isaac will take umbrage at that.
He would, and I'm assuming that Isaac would not cooperate with the documentary, which I think is why it won't get.
I think your assumption is quite correct.
Won't
Chris.
get an Oscar because otherwise it was that close.
Now tell me this: is it true that he was deregistered as an agent twice?
He's been deregistered twice.
Was he involved with Melbourne at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you do for their books? Or was that Frank Panisi?
Well, no.
Frank's innocent.
Frank and Bellyache were exonerated completely, as were, of course, all the players.
All the players.
Like, gee, I wouldn't know what that boat was doing in his
No,
garage. I mean,
my cul-de-sac, there's a boat there.
Who hasn't come home,
Top flight
open
boat.
their garage and go, oh my God, a jet ski.
Gee, I'll take it anyway.
Well, someone left it there, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Finders keepers.
no, but Moses was, he was involved in certainly, he was, one of the people he represented.
Cameron Smith. Well, he was the whale, wasn't he?
But they were saying it was internal management mainly in
right.
Melbourne,
Yeah.
But one of the times he was deregistered was for encouraging Tim Manor to sign a false declaration during the Eels salary cap scandal.
And what about the great year of 2017, Chris?
Well, the Great Purge.
The Great Purge.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, the West Tigers. I've told.
Can I get the violins out now?
I've told this story many times, Stephen.
Yeah.
But here's the short version.
Okay.
Robbie Farah and Jason Taylor didn't get on. Robbie Farah is ending up sitting.
This is Robbie Farah that was kicked down a flight of stairs at a Christmas party for South Sydney. No, sorry, carry on.
Are you thinking about David Fayolago who punched Jason Taylor at the South Sydney Mad Monday potentially?
That's the one. The Foresters,
You don't remember Robbie Farah play for the Tigers, New
Yes,
South
I
Wales?
do. Totally.
Yeah, mobile hooker.
Yeah.
And so he's sitting on the sideline in the final game of the season, Tigers versus Canberra at Leichhardt. The winner goes into if we win, we're in the semi-finals. And Taylor has him on the sideline. So there was a fractious relationship between Coach Taylor and player Farah, managed by Sam Ayoub. Sam goes to Issac Moses. You've beautifully negotiated Aaron Woods, Mitch Moses, Luke Brooks, and James Tedesco.
Your golden boy.
All to be off contract at the same time.
Just like that.
And he said, at my signal, Russell Crowe, unleash hell. And he did. And we lost 3 of the 4 of them.
Wow. And you're still being punished. One Lockie Galvin.
One of the interesting things in the documentary, whoever they got to voice it, kept referring to him as Lachlan Galvin.
Was that AI?
It could be.
Lachlan? Yeah, no. Lachlan.
People say AI's taking over the world. If AI still pronounces Lachlan,
Got a long way to go, Chris.
we got a long way to go.
So you're in the same boat as Don Politis, who will not have a bar of this man, Issac Moses.
Again,
correct?
this comes up. This documentary is far-reaching, Stephen.
Yes, it is.
And it reminds us of so many wonderful rugby league tales.
Yes.
But none more heartwarming than Joseph
Heartwarming.
Akuzo Swalihi, right? Who Politis had said, and he's a man of his word, that's it, I'm not dealing with Issac Moses ever again. And then I think the art dealer, Steve Matesky, whatever his name is,
from the eastern suburbs.
dangled Joseph in front of Nick, and he was hypnotised, and he made one exception. Wow. And welcomed Joseph into the bosom
You know, the self-hatred that must go on at that place.
of the Sydney Roosters,
Shame spiral.
only to see him leave for a 5-year, multi-million-dollar deal to get this, Stephen, rugby union.
So let me get this right. This guy, Issac Moses and company, KAOS, right, whatever it is, like agents, they work on a commission.
Correct.
And generally speaking, you only make commission when there's movement. So you want to either change codes or change teams or upgrade the contract.
And you generate the movement.
And you generate it, and you get...
You're the source of the movement.
So, generally speaking, agents used to... Harry Miller was probably 10 to 15% at tops. I think that Michael Jackson's dude got 25%. I think he was one of the highest paid. But there were some shonky guys. Colonel Tom Parker, we remember him. Remember him?
I do.
Is this...
Well, I don't remember him, but I remember Tom Hanks playing him in the movie.
In the movie. Hello, Baz. Is Issac Moses the Alan Klein of Australian sport? The man who did not just the Rolling Stones, but the Beatles as well.
Well, he's definitely not the Peter Grant, I can tell you that much.
No.
And yeah, Agent of KAOS, I think this is right. And the interesting thing with agents, because you know what they do, Steve? They look after the interests of their clients. Yes. And if their client comes along and goes, you know what, I'm perfectly happy at this club, and I'm happy to extend for 3 years at the same salary.
They just leave them there, do they?
They just go, your wishes are my command.
Yeah. Or will I get no money off that? No.
And in fact, Lachlan Galvin said when he went to the Dogs, he said, I orchestrated it. Yeah. My agent just followed my directions and orders, which is code for my agent orchestrated it, and I just followed his directions and orders.
If he's an agent of chaos, what does that make Lachlan?
Lapdog.
Something greater?
A lapdog. And look, can I just go on record and saying the fact that there's now a lot of disharmony at the Bulldogs with Toby Sexton and Reed Marnie out the door and the Dogs
the Chihuahua
absolutely imploding against the Broncos. I take I take huge delight in that.
Yes.
Schadenfreude's a beautiful thing.
You and I are old enough to remember there's only one way to solve this problem about player agents.
Well, you came up with this solution, Stephen, and I applaud you for it, and please share it.
You remember this?
I'm not old enough to. You are.
Yes. If you wanted to play for St. George, as it was called then, the Saints, you had to live in the area. Imagine that.
That was the rule.
That was the rule. You couldn't actually play for South Sydney, by the way, which is near Redfern, near Allianz Stadium, which we'll get to in a minute.
The only thing that worries me, Stephen, if we go back to those times, if you played for Newtown, you had to live in Newtown. Even back in the 20s, there was some skullduggery. I think Frank Hyde was representing North Sydney. I stand to be corrected.
Of course, someone's going to break the rules.
And they knocked on his door, and he was living in Miller's Point.
Right.
and so player agents would go from being player agents to player smugglers.
Okay.
Job to right the ship for Queensland. Pong is gone, Reece Walsh is done. Queenslanders, he's your number one. Last week he scored 4, he'll score 4 more. He's gonna stop New South Wales for sure.
Jim and Shibasaki, what an amazing storyline. Josh properly, it's got a smell of alcohol. Wow.
They come from the land of Maroon toes. It's one game, all desperation grows. Surprise debut is earned. A veteran son returns. Papa Lee Shibasaki. Billy's gone overboard.
Mystery viruses.
A mystery virus, like days of yore. Teaching to beat New South Wales for sure.
You gotta put your pants down.
Queensland ain't gonna stop. The Blues and their own hometown make history. When the day pull New South Wales pass down.
This will go down as one of the greatest storylines in Origin history.
I feel like we'll absolutely dominate and absolutely pull Queensland's fans down.
Everyone's got their pants down.
Hands are down.
Tongia, big line set up. Flanagan, surely that's easy. That is slick. From the St. George Illawarra Dragons, they ruled forward pass.
Yeah.
Slow went off with the July celebration. Well, he'll have to put it in the bank.
Well, he scored 9 tries from 11 games. Sure, he'll maybe get one later tonight, but not on this occasion.
Let's try and see if we can find out where this forward pass was. Yeah, that's a tough call.
Andrew, I have nothing. I have nothing for you.
Chris, is there a forward pass police force? I ask you.
An authority, well.
Is there a coding in the ball that says it went forward, or even a bell, a whistle, a canary to tell you something?
You've always wanted to put a chip in there, Stephen. They're working on it. They're working hard on it, but they haven't got it yet.
The last I heard, because this was in Bruce Stadium, as they used to call it, in Canberra.
That's right.
Last I heard, federal police are looking for one Gerard Sutton, who apparently is seen fleeing the scene of the crime at Bruce Stadium, where it was robbed. And that's the official charge, robbery of 2 points in the rugby league.
It's the Try Dry July celebrations, where the Try celebrations will put money in the kitty for a good cause.
Oh, yeah.
What I heard was when that try was rubbed out, there were St George Illawarra fans all over this great country of ours who got on the bottle.
Look, we don't expect to be considered above and beyond our position.
No,
we
which
made
is
some stupid mistakes.
in the
but we
bottom
still
half
got-
of the
we still
table.
got 4 points nearly to beat, get the number one team in the NRL, the Canberra Lime Green Raiders.
I hear you. I was out at Campbelltown Sports Stadium and we went down 16-12, Tigers v Canberra recently.
Right. And you know, of course, if Ricky had lost,
Yes.
all hell would have broken loose, right? It would have been victim number 1, victim number 2, victim number 3 syndrome.
Well, what's interesting is that Ricky gave an interview with Professor Roy Masters in the lead up to the game saying that, we don't get anything, because we're a small club.
Yeah.
Well, I think officially, in terms of big club theory, welcome to the club, Canberra Raiders.
If you're sitting at number 1,
It's pretty hard to argue.
pretty
that
hard
you're
to
not
argue
a-
that one, Ricky. So what does Ricky do? He goes to the press conference instead of, got no one to kick, no one to blame. There's no weak-gutted dog to go at. So what does he do? He goes, the father-son routine.
Well, it's been an interesting time for families, Stephen. I think last round, all father-son combinations saw the sons score tries for the teams coached by their
Wasn't that a
fathers.
great thing?
The Fainu brothers all scored a try, first time ever in the NRL era, where three
Heartwarming,
brothers have
Chris,
scored,
yeah.
first time since the Mortimers. But if Ricky hasn't got a weak-gutted dog to target, he'll take the opposition's struggling,
Yes.
dare I say it, burger.
As his own.
That's right.
Yeah.
And shall we listen first to Ricky spring to the defence
Can
of
we?
poor Kyle Flanagan, the burger?
Okay.
Where do you reckon we took the foot off the pedal?
Poor choice of words.
And probably poor question too when you asked Shane about his son. I think it's a disgrace how you guys in the media are just absolutely bashing the kid publicly. I said you guys in the media. And you asked a question there about his booing. I mean, honestly, I've got a son playing.
Oh.
And that's my biggest fear. You people. Not him, but the media. The way he's been portrayed in the media at the moment, that poor kid, I went up to him and I grabbed him after the game and took him aside and spoke to him. I've known him since he was a little boy. He was the lead tonight. He led the charge in regards to getting that team back into that game. I think it's a disgrace. What his so-called supporters, the so-called Dragon supporters, the social media, the bullshit that he has to listen to and cop.
Chris, can I call bullshit? How many cliches? First of all, disgrace, right? And then he goes, I feel for the kid.
Yes.
You know?
You in the media.
And you guys in the media. Now, if my biggest...
So-called St George supporters.
I've got two sons. If my biggest fear was that the media might call him a name, whereas he could die in a car accident, could be poisoned overseas somewhere. Plenty of fears bigger.
Look, I know it's real time, but he sort of did say, my biggest fear is the media, not my son. Fear of what?
Fear of what?
And if Kyle Flanagan hasn't already had a pretty tough week, how did it be to just be suddenly grabbed by Sticky Stewart?
Yeah,
you would have
yeah.
been ducking, expecting a chair to come flying at you.
Thanks a lot, Ricky. Ricky, caring, loving, sympathetic, empathetic. Is that the sort of guy we know him as?
Look, there's no doubt about it unfortunately, when you actually learn the full Ricky Stewart story, he seems like a pretty good guy. But
Is there a documentary?
Well, hopefully they're making a sequel to Agent of KAOS.
Yes,
Coach of KAOS.
Coach of Chaos. Yeah.
But
Whinging coach.
But it's interesting that he chooses this moment because are you suggesting, Stephen, that the wheels are a little wobbly on the Canberra bandwagon and
I think
only be able to beat you by four means he
points.
needs to deflect?
We are deserved position, 10, I think? 11?
Ish.
For them to be number one says it's in a very sorry state, rugby league, at this point in time. We know that. Only state of origin is
Well,
winning.
it just means that Isaac Moses has succeeded. He's torn the game apart,
He has.
Stephen.
As an agent of chaos.
I mean, when you got people like Anthony Seibold in the clutches of your hand. But there was more at this game, Stephen, because there was a lot at this game.
Yes.
Is that Ricky had some pointed comments at the media, which reminds me of, when you say you, the media, reminds me of someone else on the world stage. I can't quite think.
Very Trumpian.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
But for once, I actually think they have a point, because let's just see how can I just simply say, a not very well-informed journalist played a question around Kyle being booed at the game. Let's hear from Flano first.
Did the booing from the crowd towards Kyle a spur on the team at all?
Never heard it.
What
would the crowd be booing Kyle for?
Just the conversion early in the game, they were quite passionate this game.
Well, I think they do that. No, that's good on. That's going to happen everywhere.
So what do you say to the Raiders fans that were booing him quite loudly?
Were they all Raiders fans, were they?
It was coming from outside of the stand, it seemed that way.
They always boo a goal kicker. How many games do you go to? They always, I want them to boo their goal kicker. I want our Raiders fans, they can throw cans at him for all I care. I want them to boo a bloody goal kicker. That's their job. I've been out at Seaford Oval where the cars were there, and when there wasn't a car there blowing a horn at the bloody opposition goal kicker. Anyhow, thank you.
Chris, our great thespians, male thespians,
Yes.
even Kate Blanchett might find this, have been trained well with their voices.
Richard Roxburgh?
Mel Gibson. Russell Crowe, yeah.
Yep.
I reckon every single coach in rugby league deserves a role, not in a documentary, but in a movie, fully fledged.
Yes.
That's it. You just heard it. It's drama. It's got gravitas.
I don't want to say that Ricky's an old man yelling at clouds, but when he's channeling Lang Park, where he's suggesting that he'd love to see the fans throw beer cans at the goal kicker.
Pull up in their car and go, oink, oink, oink.
And the days in Seaford Oval, my goodness.
Jesus God.
You've got to have a long memory. But I tell you what, Stephen, for once I think they're right. For that journo to try and draw a connection between the Kyle trolling...
It's true. Has she been to a rugby league game?
Well,
Seriously.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
Because they all call it... They all write their stories off tubes, Stephen.
Yes.
You can supposedly be a rugby league journalist, never actually seen the game in person.
Because when the opposition kicks, you boo.
That's right.
Golden rule number 3.
There's one more wrinkle on this, Stephen.
Oh, yes. I know. This is one thing that just went straight past me. I don't understand this
And
at all.
again, it's the media.
Yeah.
Danny Weidler wrote an article that there'd been some concern that, in fact, there was internal trolling going on. So it wasn't just fans that were going Kyle, it was other players.
Is he a patsy for the Roosters? Danny or South trying to undo the great St George Illawarra team?
I think he's a Moses apologist at the moment. I think
Right.
I've got that right.
Right.
Agent of KAOS.
Yes.
And so the inference was that when St George was scoring tries, now this is difficult because you haven't got that much research to go on because it relies on St George Illawarra scoring tries, right?
Oh, shut up.
And players were doing the burger signal, right?
Now, what is that?
Well, there was one school of thought to call someone a burger.
Because it used to be a love heart, didn't it?
Well, that's different,
that.
but that's
Now-
the burger.
So it's the full burger, because
Yes.
the burgers are better somewhere.
And then if it's a Whopper, it's like
A
that,
double,
right?
okay, yeah.
But the inference was that if you called someone a burger, you were calling them a derrick.
Right, and what is a derrick?
A derrick is definitely a derisory term, like a nufty.
I'm completely confused, Chris. What is this thing, first of all, called a burger, and what is this thing called a derrick?
Well, if I go to derrick first, I think that's consensus that is someone who's a Neville nobody, a coat as they would describe them in cricket, right. Someone who you look down upon and insulting and referring to someone in a derisory manner.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
the dispute is burger. And I've got to be honest with you, Stephen, I was not au fait with burger.
No.
Right.
Why is a burger a bad thing?
Well, because they're delicious.
Yes, they are.
Particularly with a bit of pineapple on them.
Oh, and beetroot.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So.
Which I think in McDonald's terms is a McFeast.
So the more burgers, the better.
You would think.
Yeah.
But there was some concern that, in fact, that it was also a burger equals a derrick. Well, fortunately, new Dragon CEO Tim Watsford has intervened, Stephen, and he's able to explain, as we share, as you sort of choke on a little bit of pineapple there, post-try celebration, says Tim, where players are making hand signals similar to a burger, is something that brings the group together when we cross the white line. To link it to any one player is completely unfactual. The more burgers, the better. And we can exclusively release on Fire Up, Stephen, that St George Illawarra's theme for 2026 will be St George Illawarra Dragons, the more burgers, the better.
Fantastic.
material life with all its value don't mean a thing to me without you. The love that we once had is all I need. So take everything we have if it makes you happy. But darling, let me say before I leave, these sticks and stones ain't all that makes us home. They don't have arms to hold you when love goes wrong. Now you say we are the root.
Chris, one of my greatest fears as a father is that China's going to step in and stop rugby league from exporting itself right around Asia and the whole basin up to India.
How do you sleep at night, Stephen?
I don't.
Because everywhere I look, the Chinese Communist Party is incurring on my life, be it Huawei or TikTok,
They're sticking it up to elbow, aren't they?
or repelling Trumpian tariffs. Look, it's basically Albo versus Xi,
Yeah.
as far as I can see.
Yeah. She looks bigger.
Than
Don't you
Albo?
reckon? Yeah. I don't know if there was a wrestle. I reckon world leaders should sort shit out with a wrestle, particularly in the mud.
Well, I'm telling you, I have an interest in professional wrestling,
You
so
do.
I'd be quite happy to
You
promote
get that Trump fella, that'd be a big score.
I think Putin would be a good grappler. I mean, he wouldn't be a high flyer, but he'd
Yeah.
get you on the ground
He'd go the
and work
nuggets
at
with
you,
you. Yeah,
like
yeah.
work on an arm.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So apparently, because Albo's been trying to set up the whole Pacific, Papua New Guinea, lower Asian, Southeast Asian territory for rugby league by spending money.
Spending money at Papua New Guinea, and we've been talking about this for some time. We've looked at the island, the nuclear subs that it would house, where the resort is currently being put out to tender in Papua New Guinea.
And buying back Darwin's port.
Yeah, and we've talked for a number of years now about how that Pacific Rim of Defence would extend all the way up to Taiwan,
Right.
which looks directly at China,
Right.
and that the team there would be the Taiwan superconductors.
Semiconductors.
I should say. Semiconductors.
Yeah.
Now,
they're AI, right?
yeah, right. So China's concerned about this, Stephen, because it got on the front foot at the Solomon Islands, and then it says, well, we've lost Papua New Guinea. We don't get on with Taiwan. The only way we're going to do that is obliterate it.
Of course.
So we need to find other territories in which to incur.
You're talking the Pacific here.
I am.
Yeah.
Pacifico.
Yeah.
So you want to hear an unholy alliance, Stephen. China has come across a minor sport called rugby union.
Right.
And is looking to fund rugby union in the nations of Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa.
Yeah, you know what I call them? An agent of chaos.
So this sees the Pacific in turmoil, the two rugby codes trenchantly opposed, the forces of good, i.e. Albo, Papua New Guinea, Taiwan,
Yep.
and then the forces or agents of chaos, China, rugby union, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa. I'm calling for a solution here, Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Albo needs to think expansively. He needs to think outside the box. Kim Jong-un's been doing a lot of media lately. They opened a fantastic tourist resort up in North Korea that nobody actually goes to.
Right.
And I think he'd be right for the plucking as a rugby league team. It'd be a classic pincer movement.
Yes.
North Korea from above, Taiwan from the side, Papua New Guinea as a bulwark, Australia's stranding song. The Pyongyang Prowlers, Stephen.
Say that one more time, please.
The Pyongyang Prowlers
Yeah,
should be the
Prowler.
19th licence after the Perth
So
Meningas.
Putin's what a grappler. So they're the prowlers.
Yeah, they're the
Wow,
Prowlers.
there's a battle in itself.
Yeah, and,
Wow.
and who says rugby league? Don't you hate it when people say to us, Stephen, oh, it's just a sport, nobody's interested in that, grow up and talk about something significant. Well, put that into your
Well,
pipe.
significant, Chris, is the ground at Allianz Stadium.
No, it's not significant, Stephen. It's sacred.
It's sacred territory. For who, Chris?
For all rugby league followers, Stephen.
For all rugby league.
For all taxpayers.
Who owns it?
We do.
We do.
We do.
Okay.
Our hard-earned.
Now, apparently it's having a drainage problem. I don't like to hear that word drainage, but it's got a drainage problem. And now rugby union's worried about that, correct?
Well, everybody's worried about it, Stephen.
Yeah.
So rugby union had, a minor fixture on the weekend where the New South Wales representatives called the Waratahs played a confection called the British and Irish Lions or something like that.
Yes.
And the opposition coach, I have a feeling he might have played rugby league at some stage. But anyway, a guy called Andy Farrell, he said, well, they're cheating, or they're cheating, because they'd watered the ground, not realising that the thing doesn't drain.
That's cricket form.
Yeah. It's doctoring the turf.
The pitch, yeah.
And I must admit, it kept the game closer than you otherwise would have expected.
Right, now why don't they call Dial a hubby? Fix the damn thing.
Well, I learned the other day, courtesy of Batuta Advocate, that Jim's mowing.
Yeah, Jim's mowing, yeah.
And if you listen to Jim, that guy is out there.
Right.
He's really out there. But Jim's mowing, guess what? They do more than mow. They could have done some drainage. But now what they're doing at Allianz is they're digging it up for 6 weeks over the summer period. Everybody's
Who
unhappy.
does that affect?
Well, Sydney FC, the football team, right? Me, as a taxpayer.
Yeah.
And I tell you who it doesn't affect.
South Sydney.
No, it affects them. Sydney Roosters.
Right.
Because you drive down Moore Park and you're affronted by that sign.
The home of.
The home of the Sydney Roosters.
Yeah.
I mean, I automatically exceed the speed limit as a result, 40 Ks.
No, I had to look this up, right? Last Tuesday, I think it was, the New South Minister of Sport, Steve Camper, had no idea who he is.
Yes,
right?
he's one of Minz's
Informed
goons.
South Sydney Rugby League of the decision to reject the club's bid to share the $860 million stadium, taxpayer funded,
Yours?
Moore Park, with crosstown rivals Sydney Roosters. So, wow, how did that... Hang on a second. South Sydney.
Correct.
We're going to Acor on tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night for the Origin game.
And that's in South Sydney?
No, that's in Homebush.
Oh, it's in that's west.
Yes, they don't really refer to Homebush as the south of Sydney, do they?
So it doesn't make sense to me, Chris.
When I hear South Sydney, I think Redfern.
Yeah.
I think Waterloo.
Moore Park.
And I think Moore Park.
You do, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
And what I'm suggesting here, Stephen, in fact, I'm alleging that there's enough evidence to say, we've been saying part of the problem with the drainage is that Nick Politis has his underground lair there at Allianz, full of nuclear submarines, shark-infested pools and faceless henchmen.
Right.
But I actually think the Roosters are systematically watering the ground under the cover of darkness.
Wow.
In order to show that it's not fit for purpose, simply to keep the South Sydney Rabbitohs out. And when we march, Stephen...
Yeah, we will.
And we will march. It'll be about big club theory and alliances for everyone. Because I've polled it, Stephen. Where would you like to play your football?
Well, St George did play 11 premierships, Chris, at Moore Park.
Allianz. Where would the Tigers like to play compared to Leichhardt, not fit for purpose, Campbelltown? Too far away. Allianz.
Okay, right.
Where do the visiting teams like Melbourne and North Queensland want to play?
Allianz.
Shark Park? Toxic Swamp?
Use that palace.
Allianz.
Exactly.
Let's get it fit for purpose.
Now, talking of State of Origin, it's this week.
It is. Decider.
And is it low in temperature, so when it comes to the hype and the buzz?
Look, it depends what media outlet you're following. So if you're following the Nine Press, it's all over it. If you're following Fox, they don't get to cover it, so they maybe dial it back a little bit.
Chris, all I've been reading about is, and it's a very sad thing, Cameron Munster's dad.
Yes, that was very sad. Sad.
Now, is that really part of the topic of conversations for Rugby League and State of Origin? I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's a very sad time for Cameron and his family, Stephen. And like all of the community, we send him and his family the very best wishes in a very difficult situation. And
I heard the great line, there's more to life than just footy.
Well, it's a lesson that I only learned.
Totally.
This week.
That's right.
And I struggle to remember.
Right.
But I had to keep telling myself as the Roosters came storming back on Sunday, Stephen.
Yeah.
But we won.
You won. Good on you. I enjoyed that.
Who didn't?
Yeah, I did. I hate to say it, but I did.
And I tell you what, that Mark Nakoina Scotsy, Nawana Nitawase, he almost beat us single-handedly.
He did, didn't he?
But he didn't.
He didn't. Now, I noticed the Maroons getting off the plane at Sydney Airport, all wearing I'm all fired up T-shirts. Pat Benatar?
No.
Our
intellectual property.
Right.
Taken away again.
I read that Dylan Edwards, as he revealed, of course, one of his great secrets is he learned how to meditate on the job.
I would have thought that was a Freddie Fittler.
You would, wouldn't you?
Educated thing. Freddie, of course, has declined the opportunity to coach the Kangaroos, the poison chalice that it is. But I think we should all take time to sit and reflect on what we should be doing.
With all the chaos around you, he managed to even grab 4 minutes of breathing.
Moses, China, Queensland. How else are you going to be able to process it?
And who the hell is Guillermet Shibashiki? Who is he? Where's he from?
Guillermet Shibashaki.
Is he Queenslander?
He is.
Is
he
he?
is. He's been...
I thought he was from Japan.
He's a wonderful story, Stephen,
Is
because
he?
He was pretty much on the rugby league scrap heap.
Right.
And given one more train and trial. And isn't that a modern term?
Yes.
Like, if you watch dating shows now, 5 years ago, no one was talking about connection. Now that's all they talk about.
Yes.
In rugby league now, it's train and trial. Or is it trial and train? Anyway, he's had a very much a breakout season for the Broncos, Stephen. So it's two-gamer Robert Toya and no-gamer Shimashaki up against Latrell and Crichton. Wow. So that is a monumental aspect of
But
tomorrow's
of course,
game.
everybody's watching the man that never trains.
That'd
Brian To'o.
Well, To'o actually had a pretense to training yesterday. The guy doesn't train at all, Stephen.
No.
The guy just phones
Why?
it in.
Why?
Pain ass.
Yeah, pain ass.
Because he's got more injuries than you've had hot dinners.
Yes, okay.
Yet he still gets the blue pride out, Stephen, and will represent. Though, you know, one thing that upsets me?
Yep.
Do you remember your mate Trent Merrin?
Yeah, Miz.
Yeah, Trent Merrin, who's on a podcast, who isn't,
Yeah.
called Via the Journeyman. He had this to say about State of Origin, Stephen, and this is a bit of a down note, and
Yeah.
makes me worry about tomorrow's result.
Okay.
When are we going to stop pretending it's not rigged? It's it's blatantly obvious. It's not a tinfoil hat. It's right there. We all try and protect it because we're involved in it.
Yeah.
So
You're involved in it?
forget about, there are more important things in life than footy.
Yeah.
If Trent's right, and I've got every reason to believe that he is,
Yeah.
if State of Origin is rigged, Stephen, I'm done.
You know where Trent's going to be next week? Under a freeway with concrete slippers on. Don't you? You know, he can't say that stuff.
Having been in a room
Yeah.
with Nick Politis,
Yeah.
Peter Volandis, Gus Gould, and Agent of KAOS,
Agent of KAOS.
Issac Moses.
He is doomed, that bloke. God, talk about a wild man.
Trent Merrin, brave, but ultimately stupid.
So it says Brian To'o, I don't get this, 25,000 metres he runs in what? I don't know. It's a lot of metres, right? He's got a lot of gas, that bloke.
I assume you're talking about 250 metres per game, but...
No, 25,000 was the number. Must be over a number of...
Over his career?
State of Origin, let's say, for argument's sake.
Arguably, he would have had to play 100 Origins.
You're good at mathematics. Yeah. And meanwhile, 200 litres of cola.
Well, that's true.
We know that, right? Bizza.
To say nothing of the burgers, which I think is a
burger.
good term.
Yeah. Will that appear on Wednesday?
If you call Bizza a burger, I think you're saying you like the guy.
Perfect. It says To'o offers a shrug, a grin, and a shout out to all my short kings. My short brothers out there, when asked about the well-worn question about little people and how they go. Hello, short people.
I think Romy Luai said he's got a low centre of gravity. It's his superpower.
That's right. Now, his wife says she's insisted his hamstring injuries this year have been caused by his dancing, flips, splits, and all. So I've been banned from, not banned from sugar and Coca-Cola, but banned from dancing.
I would have been
Michael Jackson style.
I mean, his hamstrings have liquefied with all that Diet Coke Zero.
And she says he's the smallest dude with the biggest heart.
Easy. Appetite. By the way, there's a sequel animated series called Bizza's Burgers coming out, but that's another story.
Wow. It says here, yeah, he's got the legs, but I think the power has come from the love of his teammates and his competitiveness. No matter who he's up against, no matter how much bigger a defender or an attacker is than him, he just puts himself in the right position to win. And that's what they're going to do on Wednesday night, Chris.
We'll see Brian To'o's legs close up, Stephen. And just by the by, I don't know if you caught any of Glastonbury on the weekend.
No, I did not.
Rod Stewart came out and his
fantastic
closing song, Hot Legs.
Oh, no.
With Lulu.
Oh, my God.
And Lulu was magnificent. Can I just say that?
I mean, Stay With Me. Mm-hmm. That was a good song. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ronnie Wood was out there.
Hot Legs.
Channeling the faces.
What's the one about on the, it's
Do you think I'm sexy?
No. That's funny.
Sailing? I think he might have actually finished with sailing.
What's the one about, it'll be all right, darling, I'll look after you in the night? It's horrible. I can't think. It's awful.
Not Tonight's the Night.
Tonight's the Night, is that it?
That's right.
Oh, that is dreadful. That is the worst song in the world. How is it still allowed to be played?
Yeah, I was more of a transatlantic crossing guy myself.
What do you say, Chris? Go the Blues?
Blues.
Okay. Thank you.
So tune in again next week when we invite a veritable breadline of nobodies and wannabes to flesh out another rip-snorting roundup of rugby league shenanigans, slander and smut, right here at the home of radio's most fatuous footy confab. Fire!